So hey Bookwormies, you know what time it is. The end of the month. The end of the month. And what does that mean? The May wrap-up video. You're right. Good job, guys. Good guess. Okay. For this month, I want to do a bit of analytics for this wrap-up. So, in total, I read this month 13 books. 13. It's one of my, like, you'd be like, oh, that's actually not a bad amount of books. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But compared to other months, that's little. But that's okay. That's okay because I'm still going to get to my 100 book goal before the end of the month, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, this month I had a bit of a range of books. But there was one genre that was leading. And I'll tell you guys. Okay, well first, I read 2 fantasy books this month, only 2. That's kind of sad, but that's okay. I read 1 biography. First time reading a biography, guys. Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? I hope you are. 1 mystery / thriller, and 9 romance. Like, usually in the summertime, it's more like, oh, we mainly read romance and stuff like that. Like, beach read and stuff like that. But for me, I was in May and I was like, romance all in. That's okay. That's okay. Alright, let's get into the books that I read in May. So, first I read Powerful, which was like this small novella between Powerless and the second book, which will be Reckless. And I gave Powerful 4.25 stars. And you might be like, such an exact number, like 0.25. And honestly, like, I enjoyed it. It was really sad, but also so full of happiness. And it just shows that, like, the right person can make the biggest change with just a smile. And it was just really sweet. And we finally got a different POV from our 2 main characters in Powerless, and I feel like it was a really important POV, and it really led us forward, so I really enjoyed that. And that's mainly it for it. And that was a fantasy. That was the first fantasy that I read this month. And then I read the second fantasy, which was Warbreaker, and I gave it 3.5 stars. It is a bit of a low rating for Brandon Sanderson, but there's a reason for it. Like, honestly, I did find it sweet and nice, but I didn't, like, the storyline was very slow and not much was going on. Like, it wasn't going crazy here and there. And also, the ending was very abrupt. Very abrupt. And I feel like there should have been more to it than just that, but I like the romance. The romance was good. The romance was pretty good. Okay. Now we're going into my romance era, okay? That's when I read By a Thread by Lucy Score, and I kind of decided to read that book because of the Knockmount. I don't know how to say the name of the series, but like the Knockmount series, that's the trilogy, 3 books. And after I read that and really enjoyed it, I decided to read a different book by her, which was By a Thread. And I gave it 4.5 stars. It was really sweet and so sad. So sad. I loved it, and I will not give it to anyone. Give it to anyone. If I buy the physical book, it's not leaving my threshold. I'm keeping it here forever. But I feel like it was a bit weird because of the ages, because the ages were a bit higher. Like, they were, because the main characters were in their 30s, 40s. I don't remember exactly. So that was a bit, like, weird for me, but, like, because I'm usually used to having, like, teenage, like, books with teenagers or people in their 20s and stuff like that. So I was just like, next I read the first Heartstopper book. If you guys don't know what it is, a Heartstopper, it's a series of graphic novels, and it's just like a gay romance and stuff like that. But I find, well, like, it's really short and easy to read. Like, I finished, like, each of them in 1 day, like, even less, like 2 hours max. But I really took my time with it because I didn't want to rush it through. And there's still, like, a few more books that I have to read from it, but yeah. Okay, so the first Heartstopper that I read, which was but the first one, and I give it 3.5 stars. It was cute, it was sweet, and it was a bit weird because this is my first time reading like a gay graphic novel romance, and I was just like, I don't know, because I don't really read graphic novels at all. Like, all of mine are like full pages in the book, no real drawings or anything like that. But it was, I feel like it was really short, but it was a nice palate cleanser. So like, if you guys are thinking of reading it, I think you should maybe read it between large fantasies or large mystery thrillers where you had to think a lot, or read it during, so then you have some like palate cleanser so you don't get tired of all the things that you're learning in a fantasy or a mystery thriller, so you have that palette. Okay, then I read the second Heartstopper, which I gave 4 stars. It was much better, I feel like, and it was so sweet, it's so cute, and I feel like it's just such a fun and short series that it's just perfect for me sometimes to have. Then I read Heartstopper 3, which I gave 3.75 stars, so I went a bit down, but I feel like it was just super, like, it was funny, it was sweet, but it just didn't hit the spot of where I was like, awe. I'm not in awe of it. I was like, it's good, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, please, like, I need this forever. No. And then I read Heartstopper 4, which I gave 3 stars. So that was like my lowest rated book in the Heartstopper series for now, because I didn't read the rest yet of the series. And honestly, it was just because it's kind of boring to me, the 4th book, you know, but because it kind of felt like them in their normal daily life in a bit, but it was also kind of sweet. So I don't know how I feel about it. I didn't get much insight, and also since it's such a short book, it's hard to rate it, and it's a graphic novel. Okay, next I read my first biography, which was I'm Glad My Mom Died, which I did as a buddy read with my bestie Altina. And I don't have a rating for this, and you might be like, why? But for me, honestly, I just don't want to put a rating on somebody's life. It's kind of like saying, oh, you know, like, your story was boring, your life is just boring. Like, I don't want to do that, so I'd just rather not put a rating on it. But honestly, I don't have any feelings toward it, and it was hard for me to see, like, I feel like it was a really nice book to show how what others might see as the truth is something totally different, and how she just showed her life, and how even being a celebrity with a lot of money or stuff, and being an actor or something like that, it's still going to be hard, and you're still going to have to go through many roadblocks, some bigger than others, and some ways might be worse than others, but it's like that. So I feel like it's a nice book, and I would enjoy maybe reading at some point another biography, something with these similar vibes giving me, I don't know. Then I did a reread of Better Than the Movies, which I gave 5 stars again, because of course this is one of my favorite books, one of my favorite romances. Of course, it's not the first romance I've read, but it is one of my favorites, and you guys have probably heard me rave about it here and there, but not that much. But anyways, I found it really sweet, but also bit cringe there. But I felt like I love the romance, and I just felt like it was like so sweet and fun to see how the girl slowly falls for the, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I feel like it was really nice, and always it's kind of like a palate cleanser romance, something you can just read in a second. Of course, I took my time reading this book because I just wanted to really savor the reread. Of course, I knew what was the ending, what was going to happen, so yeah, but it was still really, really good. Next, I read Binding 13. This is the start of the raving. This is the start of the real raving. Oh my god. So, Bookwormies, quick interruption. If the camera seems a bit weird or the filming seems a bit weird, it's because I'm filming from my computer. Yes. Stop. Anyways, get ready for a lot of raving, as I said before, because I'm going to be talking about this book a lot, and don't think I'm cringy or weird for tearing up. It's just I really love the book, but I was overreacting a teensy bit in this clip. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you don't mind me that much. I'm getting flashbacks from when I read the book. I gave it 5 stars. Guys, I haven't given a romance in a long, I haven't given many romances 5 stars. You reckon? I barely give them. I only have, if you count this book, before I read The Binding 13, I only had 2 romances that were 5 stars. And I read a lot. Not amazingly a lot, but I read quite a lot. And that just shows just how much of a picky I am with romances. But Binding 13 was just so crazy. It gave me all the emotions that you could ever need. Sadness, giggling, everything. And I felt like that the boy acted kind of stupid in times. He did the right thing in the end. And he was really such a sweet guy. And I loved it. I loved him. He was amazing. Marry me, Johnny Kavanaugh. Marry me. I love the book. And this is the start of the new raving. Good luck, guys, because I'm not gonna let go of this book till the end of my life. But yeah. Next, I read One of Us is Lying, which I gave 3.5 stars. This was the only thriller / mystery I read this month, but I still think it was good. But it was cool, but it wasn't as thrilling as I thought it would be, and I kind of felt like there should be more to it, but there wasn't. But I liked how everything unraveled towards the end and gave us what actually happened. But I felt like many parts it was just us getting to know the characters, but there was no thrilling aspect. So I don't know, not my fave. Next, I read The Heartbreak Rule, which is part of a video that I'll be posting later on in the month of June, I think. My schedule's really whack, so I don't know. But I gave The Heartbreak Rule 3.75 stars. It was sweet, but I felt like there were feelings that were just ignored, and there wasn't much building towards the romance. It was just boom, the book starts, and there it is, and I'm just like, what's going on? I feel like it should, I'm not saying it should have been a slow burn, but I think they could have waited a bit for us to get to know the characters before they went bam. So I don't know. And it didn't feel really like an enemy solvers, but it felt more like a neglected love thing and a rage towards a misunderstanding. Lastly, I read this month Keeping 13. I love this book. Honestly, Binding 13 and Keeping 13 are a 6-star series for me. I rated it 5 stars, of course, but in my heart they're a 6 stars, But I loved it so much. Keeping 13 was so good, and I just gave it all the emotions. Because I could be giggling one moment from the book, and the next I could be crying. The next I could be going crazy insane, and the next I'll be relaxed and calm. I was giggling while reading it. I was like, oh my god. I was reading it in front of my friends, and they were like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, you wouldn't get it. It was so crazy, and I love the book so much. Just talking about it gives me flashbacks. No, let's talk about what I'm reading. Currently, I started the books 2 days ago, but I'm gonna count it as I read it in the month of June because that's when I finished it. But I'm reading currently A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've been wanting to read it since forever, and I finally dug up the courage to read it. Well, you'll see a video and you'll get it from me. And also I'm reading Saving 6 on the side. You can see how much I love the series. But I'm trying to take it slow because I really just don't want to finish the series too quickly. And I'm thinking after Saving 6 or maybe the Redeeming 6, I might take a break from the series and wait a while before going towards the next book because I just don't want it to end. And it will take some time before the next book comes out, so I want to take my time. But yeah, that's mainly it for everything I read in May and what I'm currently reading in June, at the start of June. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!